Welcome back to the Grace Grit and Everything in Between podcast. This is episode 24 and it's about learning to love yourself. Because it's Valentine's weekend, I figured let's go all in about love. So, it's the time of year that a lot can stir up. Love, longing, loneliness, comparison, old wounds and expectations. And I want to gently ask you something today. Not to judge yourself, but to notice. What is your relationship with love? When no one else is involved. When it's just you. Because before romantic love, before friendships, before being chosen by someone else, there's just you. And for many women, this is the part we skip. So today we're going to slow down and explore what it really means to love yourself. Not in a fluffy way, but in a deep, honest, healing way. So, a question that as women I find that we ask ourselves a lot. Maybe not out loud, but 100% we think it. Are we worthy of love? So let's start with the question that sits underneath everything. Do you believe that you are worthy of love? Not intellectually, not what you say out loud, but what you feel in your body when you ask yourself that. For many, many women, worthiness feels conditional. I'm worthy if I behave. I'm worthy if I'm useful. I'm worthy if I don't ask too much. I'm worthy if I don't make mistakes. And none of that is love. That's all just survival. Real love doesn't require you to earn it. It doesn't shrink you. It doesn't ask you to disappear. If you struggle with worthiness, it's often isn't because something is wrong with you. It's because love was inconsistent, conditional, or unsafe in your own life. And your nervous system learned love must be managed. I know for me, in my childhood, I wasn't taught love. I was taught punishment. And I was taught everything I couldn't do, but I wasn't really shown love. And the only kind of the guidance that I got what love was from my grandparents. But because obviously grandparents don't see very often, I used to question whether or not it was real. Because I didn't see it every day to day in my own home. So this is where we're going to go into deeper beliefs about love. And we're going to go beneath the surface. And I want you to ask yourself these questions gently. What did I learn about love growing up? Was love safe, unpredictable, distant, or overwhelming? Did love come with criticism, silence, or emotional withdrawal? There are many women that associate love with anxiety, overgiving, self-abandonment, and trying to be enough. So when love appears, the body braces itself instead of softening. And this is why you can want love but fear it at the same time. Because love doesn't feel like peace, it feels like something you might lose. Just sit with that. Because I know for a fact that for the first time in 50 years, I've had a year of completely on my own. Like no children, no partner, on my own. And I would say only now do I really know what love is. So what was it all those other times? What healing does, your inner child need. So your inner child is the part of you that first learned what love felt like. She would remember being ignored, being told she was too much, being praised only when she performed, being made responsible for others' emotions. Especially if you had a childhood like mine. And now, as an adult, she's still there inside you. She's still controlling that inside you, in your subconscious. Often showing up as self-criticism, people-pleasing, or fear of rejection. But you need to ask yourself, what did I need back then that I didn't receive? Comfort? Protection? Reassurance? Someone to choose you? Loving yourself means becoming the adult who finally says, I see you, I'm here now. So what do you need to learn about loving yourself? This is where many women get stuck, because it doesn't mean being confident all the time. And it doesn't mean never doubting yourself. And it doesn't mean always feeling strong. It means staying with yourself when things feel uncomfortable. Like you're able to just sit with yourself. Speaking kindly to yourself when you mess up. Remember in those episodes beforehand, like, if you wouldn't say it to a friend, don't say it to yourself, because you are listening. Not abandon yourself to keep the peace. I'm very guilty of that one. Self-love is not loud, it's consistent. It's choosing yourself in small moments, resting without guilt, saying no without justification, and listening to your body instead of overdoing it. I'm also guilty of that one. So what is your relationship with yourself? Here's an honest question for you. If you spoke to a friend the way you speak to yourself, would they stay? Your inner dialogue shapes your emotional reality. Your self-talk is, if your self-talk is critical, harsh, shaming, dismissive, your nervous system will never feel safe. Self-love begins with respect, with acceptance, with allowing yourself to be human. You don't have to love every part of yourself, but you do have to stop rejecting yourself. So you've done all the work, you've been doing the exercises that I've been giving you the last couple of weeks, and you've asked yourself these thought-provoking questions, and you've really kind of thought, yep, I need to do better there, I need to do better there. This is how you're going to prepare yourself to start loving yourself now. It doesn't start with affirmations. It really just starts with your safety. Here are the gentle ways that you can begin. So notice without fixing. Your awareness is your healing. Speak kindly to yourself, even when it feels awkward. Remember, you've been doing it for so long, it will feel different to stop, and instead of calling yourself stupid, just say, do you know what, I love you. Thank you, body, for getting me through this day. I really do appreciate you. Create small boundaries, rest, space, and honesty. You should be able to say, do you know what, I'm tired. I really need to just rest. I can't just keep going and going and going, because I'm going to break. And if I go down, the whole ship goes down. Meet your own needs. Don't wait to be chosen. There is, usually when we're younger, we just think that is all we're here for, to meet someone. It's not. Maybe back in the 1800s, because if you didn't meet someone and marry someone, you were a spinster. But Who's to say those spinsters wasn't really happy because they didn't have to worry about what anyone else was saying or thinking or doing or anything? Commit to yourself daily, even for 5 minutes. Even if it's for just sitting with a timer on for 5 minutes and sitting in silence. That you'll probably find the hardest thing to do, because you'll first be filled with all this guilt of stuff that you need to do and that you haven't got time to rest. You really do have time to rest. You really do. It's important you do. Self-love is built, not declared. So this Valentine's weekend, I want you to remember, you don't need to become someone else to be worthy of love. You don't need to heal everything to deserve care. And you don't need permission to choose yourself. The most important relationship you will ever have in your life is the one that you have with yourself. And it's never too late to begin. You know, I'm fast approaching 50. And I would never, ever, if I'd gone back 30 years, think that this is where I would be today. But I can honestly, hand on heart, say I am resting when I want to. I have boundaries in place. I can say no. I have really rebuilt myself. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I've still got issues. I'm still filled with anxiety and very stressed. But I'm kinder to myself now. And that's something that I told myself, that I had no time for myself. I had to work, I had to put the children first, I had to do all these things first. And I think if I just stopped and realised, very simply, what do they tell you on aeroplanes? Put your oxygen mask on first. It really is true. And I only actually opened my eyes to that for about 6 years ago, when I was really struggling, and it was my children that turned around and said to me, we will be fine as long as you are fine. So if you do feel like taking any time for yourself is selfish, and you have got young children, if it helps to tell yourself that you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for them, until that you notice that you are really doing it for yourself, then that is the way to kind of get that started and get you back to you. So until next time, please be kind to yourself. Try and do these answer these questions, these thought-provoking questions. Write them down and just think about them. 5 minutes. That's all you need. If you can do that every single day, I guarantee, if you sit in silence and ask yourself a question, your mind will answer you. If you sit there long enough. But if you've only got 5 minutes, then you've only got 5 minutes. Sitting in peace and quiet for 5 minutes is still better than not doing it. So sending all my love this Valentine's Day. Until next time, be kind to yourself.